Yo, what's going on guys? I'm Jay Cartere, and in this video I'm going to be telling you how you can get 1,000 retweets on Twitter, basically. Well, I'm going to be giving you 7 easy ways to get more engagement on Twitter, which can in turn lead to over 1,000 retweets and stuff like that, so stay tuned. So you should already know that I believe that Twitter is the best social media platform for you to be marketing on. Whether you're marketing a business, a product, your music, your creative endeavors, I don't know, your videos, stuff like that. Twitter is the best way to get direct to your fans without any limitations. For example, Facebook, they limit your outreach and whatnot. Like if you got 1,000 fans on your Facebook page and you post something, only about 100 people are gonna see it unless you boost that post with ads and stuff like that. So it's really a pay to win game. However, on Twitter, if you got 1,000 followers, 1,000 people have the potential to see it, but they probably won't if they're scrolling through the timeline or some of them aren't online or stuff like that. So these tips will enable you to make sure that the majority of your followers see what you're tweeting and make sure that the majority of your followers actually get involved with what you're tweeting. So let's get into it. Tip number 1 is a nice and easy one. That's curate good content and add your point of view. For example, if you see a tweet that's out there and it's getting loads of retweets and likes, not favorites because they changed that up, it's getting loads of retweets and likes and people are already engaging with that, do a quote retweet and add a little caption about it, retweet it onto your timeline, and then your followers will be able to see it. They'll be like, oh, this guy's bringing me this great content. Maybe they'll quote tweet it and get involved and stuff like that. It'll just keep the engagement going. What you can do is if someone's tweeted a hilarious picture or something like that and they've added a caption, you can save the picture for yourself, tweet it on your profile and add your own caption. I suggest you add your own caption and not just steal what they said, because that's not great, but add your own caption and then tweet that on your timeline, and then because it's already a picture that's gotten responses before, it's likely to get responses on your page. Tip number 2 is maintain a balance of promotional tweets and content that your target market actually wants. Now, you might want to tweet links to your music or your video or your product or something like that all day, but no one wants to see that. No one wants to follow someone to be promoted to all day. That's annoying. So what you can do is do a bit of research on your target audience, your followers, see what they like, and then post that. The majority of your tweets should be stuff that your target audience already likes, stuff that they want. So for example, my target audience, they love funny pictures and funny videos and stuff like that. So I post funny pictures and funny videos and stuff like that. I don't add my link into it and say, hey, watch this funny video and check out my music or stuff like that. I just give them what they want, because I feel like just give them what they want, and then when you tweet your link down the road, they'll be more inclined to check that out and be like, you know what, this guy gives me what I want. He entertains me, or he teaches me something. If you're sharing articles or something that people want, like for example, if your target market is photographers and you tweet some articles on how to get better lighting, how to color correct your photos and stuff like that, those people are going to be like, this guy gives me exactly what I need, what I want, so I'm going to check out what he's talking about, like his promotional link or whatever, because I've got that connection with him. I feel I might as well, because he's giving me something, I'm going to give him something in return and actually check out what he's doing. And I do that a lot as well. If someone on my timeline is posting like hilarious stuff or very insightful articles or whatnot, and then they post a link to their music, I'm gonna check it out, because I'm seeing like this person, obviously I can relate to him because he's posting hilarious stuff that I find funny, he's posting good articles that were helpful to me, so obviously like we can connect that way, so I might be able to connect to his music. So that's a really good way to get your people more engaged. Make sure the majority of your posts is stuff that your followers want. I'd say maintain at least a 3-to-2 ratio, so for every 2 promotional tweets you have at least 3 tweets that are just giving your target audience what they want, entertaining them, maybe educating them, or even inspiring them, and that should work out greatly in your favor. Tip number 3 is reply to tweets both from others and to yourself. Now, first of all, reply to others, that's pretty simple. Like if you're on Twitter, you should be engaging with your audience. A lot of people want to be on Twitter to have loads of followers and stuff like that, and to seem like they're a big celebrity and not to engage with their followers. That is the wrong way to use Twitter, at least in my humble opinion. You can like not listen to me if you want, but I think that I personally know what I'm doing. So if you're watching this video, you should be listening to my tips. So basically, if someone tweets you and it's something that can be replied to, reply to it. If someone says great job on that video you done, say thank you. If someone shares their opinion, reply to that and tell them if you agree with their opinion or if you disagree. Have a discussion with your followers. Keep that conversation going, and don't feel like you're too good to reply to tweets. You should be engaging with as many people as possible to build those connections that you want to be building with your fan base. Also, the second part of this tip, reply to your own tweets. That might seem a bit weird, but the reason you want to reply to your own tweets is if you've got a specific tweet that you think has great potential and no one's noticed it or whatever, if you reply to that tweet, it actually becomes a thread, and then if people had missed it earlier on, when you reply to that tweet, people will see the reply and the original tweet. So you can actually boost that tweet by just replying to it instead of spending money like you'd have to do on Facebook. I'm not sponsored by Twitter or anything in any shape or form though. Like, don't think I'm trying to bash Facebook. This is just my humble opinion. But yeah, replying to your tweet gives a nice boost to your tweet, but don't overdo it because it can get annoying and spammy. I'd say reply to like one specific tweet. If you really want this tweet out there, maybe reply to that. Don't reply to it more than 3 times in a day. I hardly reply to my tweets, to be honest. I might reply to them like once in a while, like just if I've put out a good tweet that I think is hilarious and no one's seen it, I might reply to it to make sure that people have seen it. But if it doesn't pop off, then I just assume that it's not as funny as I think it is, and I just keep it moving. But that's tip number 3, I think. Tip number 4 kind of ties to tip number 3, and that is you can reply to your curated content with your promotional content, as that will appear in the thread and that will give both tweets added exposure. So for example, let's say you've put out an interesting article that you think your followers would love to read, or you've tweeted a hilarious picture or a hilarious video that your followers are getting involved with, and they're putting all these laughing faces and stuff like that. That's stuff that your audience is naturally inclined to engage with, and what you can do is you can reply to one of your promotional tweets, and it allows your promotional tweets to capitalize off the publicity that one of your curated tweets are already getting. By the way, the curated tweets are the tweets that are for your target audience, the stuff that they want, like I mentioned earlier, if I didn't clarify that. So basically, because people are already retweeting, they're already engaging with it, they're gonna see the thread. If they click on the tweet, they're gonna see your promotional tweet in the thread. And if people have missed that tweet, they're gonna see your promotional tweet that replies to that tweet, and they're gonna see both of them together. So if they see the hilarious thing and they're like, oh, that's hilarious, they might be inclined to check out the promotional tweet under, because you've just given them something. They might as well check out what you've done. It's not a guaranteed thing that people are gonna check out your work or your promotional tweet, but it heightens the possibility for it when you do stuff like this. So that was tip number 4. Tip number 5 is retweet and engage with quote tweets. When I'm referring to quote tweets, I'm talking about the quote tweets of your tweets. So let's say you tweeted something and your followers are now quote tweeting it with their opinions, their laughing faces, their little jokes and stuff like that. I get jokes from my followers and it's hilarious. This is why I'm saying you should engage with your following, because they can really bring entertainment to you. Like, even if you're the entertainer or you feel like you're the entertainer, a lot of my followers are extremely entertaining, so shout out to you guys. But yeah, you're gonna want to retweet the quote tweets, because it gives your followers a bit of exposure. You're like, hey, I see you, I'm retweeting you so all of my other followers can see what you're saying. Like, thanks for engaging with me, here's a little bit of push so maybe you can get some more followers, or maybe more people can see what you're doing and stuff like that. And it's just a nice thing to do. I think if someone's taking the time out to quote tweet your tweet, you should give them a retweet to let them know that you appreciate the fact that they're taking the time to engage with you, and it's not hard to just give them a retweet and give them a little boost on your timeline, basically. Also, you want to engage with these quote tweets. You want to maybe quote tweet the quote tweet, maybe like have a Russian doll of tweets, like every time you click you get deeper and deeper to the source and stuff like that, because you want these people to know that you appreciate them taking the time to get involved with whatever you're doing. So if you tweet something for them and they're like, yeah, this is great, thank you for that. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people will see something that they enjoy, they'll click on it, they'll read it, and they'll go on about their business. So if someone's taking the time to actually acknowledge you and let you know that, you know what, fam, thanks for that, thanks for doing that, I really appreciate that, the least you can do is tell them that you appreciate their appreciation of your work, basically. So be sure to engage with the quote tweets, be sure to retweet their quote tweets, as it keeps the everlasting circle of quote tweeting and retweeting and stuff going. So that was tip number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tip number 6 is tweet questions to your followers and then retweet and engage with the answers. Now, keep in mind, if you tweet a question, it's not 100% that you're gonna get an answer. There's loads of times I tweet questions and they go out and no one checks for them, no one sees them, and it just looks like I'm getting aired on the timeline. And that's what stopped me from tweeting questions on my timeline previously, because I was thinking, if I tweet a question and no one replies, I'm just gonna look like an idiot. But the fact is, no one cares. No one cares. Like, I've never seen someone quote tweet or retweet my question and be like, haha, you got no responses or something like that. People aren't that heartless. Like, I thought people were absolute savages on the internet, but they're not that heartless. So don't worry about that. Just tweet out the questions. Eventually you'll start getting some responses and like retweets and quote tweets and stuff like that. And then retweet those answers, because those answers will encourage other people to engage in the conversation or debate, because they might have a different opinion, they might have the same opinion, so they might retweet it, which is good for you because you've just retweeted someone's quote tweet of your tweet, and now someone else is going to retweet that. So it shows that you got a bit of pull on Twitter. Like, when you retweet a quote tweet, loads of other people retweet it. It also helps you out ultimately, because you're basically helping retweet your own tweet. Like, your tweet is in there. I've said tweet a lot of times in this play. It might sound a bit confusing now, but the fact that you're giving exposure to this person who is giving exposure to your tweet benefits both of you. So definitely do that and engage with the answers. Have a little bit of discussion. Say if you agree with this person or if you disagree. Let them know you're actually checking out these answers and you actually care about them and you're actually paying attention to what's going on your Twitter. Because if you're just tweeting out questions and people are giving you answers and you're not actually engaging with that or retweeting or anything like that, people will be like, why am I even answering these questions? This guy doesn't care. He's not even engaging with it or anything. So I'd say retweet the answers, engage with the answers, tweet out multiple questions a day. Don't worry if you don't get any responses, just keep on going. And you can tweet the same question multiple times if you don't get any responses. No one has yet complained about the fact that I've retweeted the same question multiple times, because a lot of people won't see it, and people who have answered it before just won't answer it. They'll just keep scrolling. So it's not that deep. Definitely do that. And that was tip number 6. Tip number 7. And this is the last one. Tip number 7 is use the polls feature. Now, the new feature that I think everyone should have it on their phones now, but like when it came out, I had it like 3 days after I had it on my phone, but the first day I had it on my desktop. But that's neither here nor there, Twitter. But anyways, yeah, the polls feature is a great feature for you to use to get more engagement, because you can ask the wildest questions or you can ask very tame questions. The fact that people can anonymously answer and just click a button to answer instead of like going to retweet and then type in their answer increases engagement loads. As far as I've seen anyway, the polls get a wildly increased amount of engagement, and I think that's due to the anonymity and the ease of answering these questions. And it's just fun to like answer a poll and then click and then see what other people are saying, because I think that's an interesting part of it, because you have to click an answer to see the stats and see what other people have said. And I think our natural curiosity wants to know what everyone else is voting. So in order to get that and to find out what other people are saying, you might be like, okay, I'll answer this, and then that really increases engagement for the pollster and everyone wins in the end. So yeah, those were my 7 tips. I hope this helps you get more engagement on Twitter and helps you in your marketing efforts and stuff like that. Or maybe you're not a marketer and you just want to be a Twitter celeb. I hope that helps you with that. If you need any Twitter marketing services, or you want to talk to me about hiring me to manage your social media or something like that, you can send a message to jay@jcempire.com. That will be on the screen now, because I do Twitter management and social media marketing and stuff like that. And if you need some help, I'll be down to do that for you. For everyone else, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please feel free to leave a comment with any questions or suggestions on other videos you'd like to see. Also, if you want to ask a question for one of my Q&A videos, in which I'll do like a whole video for your question, the link is in the description below. If you want to help support the channel a little bit more, you can become a patron using the link in the description, patreon.com/Jay Cartere. And you can follow all of my social networks using the links in the description below also. And yeah, follow me on Twitter, obviously. My Twitter is @Jay Cartere, and I'll see you in the next video.